Hello and welcome to Dinar Shift. Have you ever considered the scenario where the precise moment you've been anticipating for years suddenly materializes, but you find yourself completely unprepared for the rapid action required? Picture waking up one morning to news headlines confirming a rate release and the immediate opening of exchange facilities for the Iraqi dinar's IQD and the Vietnamese dong of VND across the globe. Almost instantly, phones begin to ring relentlessly. Bank websites buckle under an unprecedented surge of traffic, and the vast number of holders who have positioned themselves for this moment rush to secure their critical exchange appointments. Now, imagine yourself navigating this chaos, still trying to determine your next move, as the precious window of opportunity begins to narrow with every passing hour. This special report is dedicated to breaking down the essential knowledge you must possess before this exchange window opens, offering insight into how to confidently reserve your position, and underscoring why precise timing could prove to be absolutely definitive. The Iraqi dinar and the Vietnamese dong have held the focus of global financial observers for well over a decade, capturing widespread attention within the international currency markets. Throughout this period, investors worldwide have maintained their holdings, patiently awaiting the pivotal moment when the currency's intrinsic market values undergo a major adjustment. This potential and highly discussed event, which is frequently referenced as a revaluation or rate release, possesses the structural capability to reshape personal financial futures almost overnight. Beyond the considerable public discussion and speculation, the process is currently underway and both nations are rooted in deep, strategic economic planning. Both Iraq and Vietnam are actively implementing fundamental structural economic reforms designed explicitly to pave the way for more robust, stable, and internationally credible currencies capable of full convertibility. These significant economic maneuvers are not the result of sudden decisions, rather they represent the culmination of years of dedicated effort and reform. As we look toward the year 2025, various financial experts and well-placed industry insiders are noting a discernibly renewed sense of urgency behind these governmental initiatives. A critical focus for both nations centers on the comprehensive modernization of their banking infrastructure, the adoption of sophisticated digital transaction systems, and a deeper integration with the intricate mechanisms of global trade. Every one of these interconnected steps strongly suggests a high degree of purposeful activity occurring behind the public curtain, indicating preparations for meaningful currency movement. Therefore, understanding the practical definition of securing your exchange slot becomes paramount for any holder of these currencies. Securing an exchange slot should be conceptualized similarly to trying to book a highly sought after flight reservation when literally everyone is attempting to depart simultaneously. When the official exchange window is declared open, a staggering number of holders, potentially millions, may attempt to execute their currency exchanges at the exact same time. It is highly anticipated that major banks, authorized foreign exchange counters, and designated financial centers will manage this immense volume by implementing a mandatory scheduling system requiring pre-booked appointments or specific time windows for individual investors. If an individual is not fully prepared, meaning they have not pre-verified their currency holdings, established the necessary compliant accounts, or confirmed their specific exchange location, they may find themselves placed behind thousands of others in the queue, potentially losing critical time. This intense competition for time underscores why diligent preparation is the single most important factor. The capacity to act swiftly while maintaining a calm, organized approach is likely to determine the speed at which your newly converted funds become readily accessible, and in some scenarios, the effective exchange rate secured during the initial, most volatile hours. To grasp the significance of the current discussions, it is helpful to recall the foundational reasons why Iraq's ongoing monetary dialogue is once again dominating financial reports. Recent official statements originating from high-ranking financial leadership in Baghdad clearly communicate that the Central Bank of Iraq's reforms extend far beyond mere internal stability. They are fundamentally about achieving global economic inclusion and trust. Iraq has been rigorously pursuing membership in the World Trade Organization, WTO, a process that requires the establishment of a fully transparent, modernized, and credible national currency system. To satisfy the strict requirements for the WTO inclusion, the entire Iraqi banking sector must meticulously align its practices with global financial standards, particularly in areas concerning digital transfers, robust anti-fraud protocols, and efficient international settlement mechanisms. This is not just a matter of bureaucratic paperwork, it is the vital groundwork necessary for achieving full currency convertibility on the international stage. In essence, Iraq's strategic objective is for the dinar to be recognized globally, easily tradable, and regarded as a trustworthy asset by investors across the world. Concurrently, Vietnam's independent financial trajectory has presented an equally compelling narrative over the last decade. Vietnam's remarkable economic resilience has drawn significant global attention, particularly as its rapidly expanding manufacturing sector and dynamic digital economy have surged, prompting comparisons to the high-growth phase of pre-industrial China. Despite broader global economic decelerations, the Vietnamese dong is widely considered undervalued when measured against the sheer volume of the nation's economic output. Many financial analysts strongly suggest that a measured rate adjustment, once sufficiently supported by robust foreign currency reserves and secured international trade agreements, could lead to a substantial strengthening of its valuation. Collectively, These two nations form the core focus of what is often informally referred to as the Asian currency watch. Setting aside the speculative elements, what is concretely unfolding in both Iraq and Vietnam carries tangible, real-world financial implications for every individual who holds either the Iraqi dinar or the Vietnamese dong. Transitioning now to the critical topic of logistics, should a formal announcement of a revaluation or rate release be made, authorized banks will proceed according to extremely strict regulatory protocols. Each and every exchange transaction must be meticulously verified, accurately recorded, and processed in full compliance with rigorous international anti-money laundering (AML) laws and Know Your Customers (KYC) requirements. This means the process will not allow individuals to simply walk into a branch with large amounts of physical currency notes and expect an immediate transaction. It is highly probable that you will be required to formally schedule an appointment, provide comprehensive documentation to verify your identity, and definitively prove the legitimate origin and ownership of your currency notes. Some institutions may necessitate that your currency be authenticated using specialized methods, such as examination under UV light, scanning of serial numbers, and validation via central banking systems to confirm legitimacy. Following successful approval, the converted funds will typically not be disbursed as physical cash. Instead, the equivalent value will be processed as an instantaneous electronic deposit directly into your designated bank account, a process that usually takes mere minutes, though occasionally it may extend to a few hours during high-demand periods. This leads directly to one of the most frequently asked questions: will my money be available for use instantaneously? In most cases, the answer is affirmative, but with important stipulations. If you have proactively established a compliant bank account that is already authorized and configured to efficiently handle large-scale foreign currency transactions, the entire processing time will be significantly reduced. Delays are most commonly experienced when a bank requires additional internal verification steps for the source of funds or when the sheer volume of high-value exchanges temporarily overwhelms their digital processing systems. The importance of proactive account setup cannot be overstated. Holders must ensure their chosen bank is fully prepared to handle the transaction volume, that their account is active and verified, and that all necessary documentation is complete and organized. The moment of the announcement is absolutely the wrong time to begin last-minute preparation and scrambling. Even a minor delay caused by incomplete paperwork could result in missing the most favorable exchange rate available during the critical, high-volatility early window. The concept of a mandatory exchange slot is not a speculative theory, it is standard operating procedure for managing high-demand financial events across the banking industry. In anticipation of extreme demand, banks are very likely to introduce a sophisticated digital booking system, through which customers must officially reserve a specific time window to execute their currency conversion. Some financial institutions may even implement prioritization for existing customers based on their established account status, previous investment history, or early registration for the exchange process. This highlights the urgency for holders to initiate contact with their personal bank or a trusted financial advisor now, well ahead of any official announcement, to gain a clear understanding of their institution's specific policy and planned procedures for managing this event. In 2025, thanks to significant advancements in global banking systems and sophisticated mobile applications, a considerable portion of these exchanges could potentially be initiated and finalized entirely online. However, it is fundamentally unwise to rely solely on assumptions about digital accessibility. It is critical for every holder to make the necessary calls and explicitly confirm precisely how their specific bank plans to handle large-scale IQD or VND conversions once the moment arrives. Throughout this entire process, security must remain the central focus of your entire plan. Major currency exchange events are known to attract the attention of not only legitimate investors but also various fraudulent actors and sophisticated scammers. Holders must maintain extreme vigilance against fake exchange centers, convincing phishing emails, or deceitful social media posts that falsely claim to offer exclusive or better than official exchange rates. Under no circumstances should you ever agree to hand over your physical currency notes outside of a verified, established financial institution. Always monitor your bank's official communication channels for legitimate updates and procedural changes. Remember this crucial rule: legitimate banks and financial entities will never, under any circumstances, request sensitive personal details, account passwords, or a deposit of currency through informal messages, email, or unverified phone calls. Protecting your substantial assets, both the physical currency notes and your digital account access information, is paramount during this critical financial transition period. You must place your complete trust only in official government sources, the verified communications of major banks, and established verified financial representatives. We must also directly address one of the most common misconceptions circulating in the community: the belief that all exchanges will occur simultaneously and instantaneously across every country and region globally. In reality, the implementation is highly likely to unfold in a structured sequence of phases. Certain key financial regions or specific banking groups may be authorized to go live first, followed by a deliberate, phased rollout to other areas. Comprehensive system updates, the intricate global management of liquidity, and large-scale international banking coordination inherently require a substantial amount of time to execute. If you are located in a region anticipated to have extremely high demand, it may take several hours, or even potentially a couple of days before your conversion transaction is successfully processed and finalized. This phased approach is a normal industry response to managing such monumental financial events. The critical factor is ensuring you have secured your exchange slot as early as possible. Historically, patience and meticulous preparation consistently yield better results than rushing in without a clear, organized plan. So, the question remains, how can you initiate your comprehensive readiness plan today? Start immediately by conducting a thorough audit of your currency holdings. Ensure they are stored in an impeccably safe, dry, and highly secure location, protected from damage or loss. Systematically document the serial numbers of all your notes and create photocopies for a comprehensive and permanent record-keeping system. Next, identify which specific banks or major exchange centers in your geographic region are currently authorized to deal with and process foreign currencies of this nature. Proactively call these institutions to inquire whether they currently handle IQD or VND. Even if they do not process them at this exact moment, they may be preparing to do so soon. Importantly, ask precisely what forms of identification they will require, which typically includes a government-issued photo ID, documented proof of your current address, and possibly an official currency verification certificate. While these preparatory steps may seem routine and basic, they will collectively save you an enormous amount of stress and time when the official announcement day arrives. We must also discuss the critical element of rate fluctuation that is expected. Immediately following the rate release, the initial exchange values are highly likely to shift rapidly and unpredictably based on the volatile forces of global supply and demand. Those investors who are among the earliest participants to complete their exchange may secure a slightly more advantageous rate compared to latecomers, a dynamic entirely dependent on the immediate global market response. Consider this phenomenon similar to the initial trading period following a major stock initial public offering IPO. When a company first launches its shares for public trading, the market price can fluctuate dramatically and swiftly during the first few hours. The IQD or VND could similarly experience brief but sharp surges or rapid corrections in the initial phase. Therefore, the essential strategy is to have your meticulously prepared plan ready to execute so you can act decisively when the timing feels correct, without allowing emotional reactions or panic to compromise your critical financial judgment. Another profoundly crucial aspect that every holder must fully comprehend is the matter of taxation. Any potential gains or profits realized from exchanging your foreign currency holdings may be considered taxable income, the specifics of which depend entirely on the tax laws and regulations of your country of residence. Before you proceed with any exchange, you must consult with a qualified, certified financial advisor or a tax professional. They can provide essential guidance on the necessary documentation, the proper handling of all receipts, and the mandatory reporting requirements to avoid complications. The last thing any successful investor wants is to receive a substantial, unexpected tax bill months after the event. Many highly experienced investors strongly recommend creating a dedicated physical or digital folder specifically for all exchange-related paperwork, including rate confirmations, official receipts, and comprehensive transaction records. Remaining meticulously organized is not merely a sign of smart planning, it is a fundamental act of financial self-protection and diligence. The inherent excitement that rightfully surrounds these particular currencies can often overshadow the considerable discipline required to responsibly manage a successful outcome. Always remember that every major financial event, regardless of how promising the initial outlook appears, carries a balance of both potential risk and potential reward. While some investors may realize substantial returns, others might experience a different outcome. Depending on precise timing, subsequent rate changes, or various transaction fees, it is imperative to keep your personal expectations realistically balanced. Your primary focus should be on acquiring accurate knowledge, maintaining a state of readiness, and exercising patience. You must actively avoid speculative panic or any emotional decisions that are driven by unverified online rumors. Financial history consistently demonstrates that informed, diligent investors inevitably achieve better outcomes than those who act impulsively. Beyond the stark financial figures, there lies a much bigger narrative, the ongoing story of two sovereign nations diligently rebuilding and fundamentally redefining their authoritative place within the complex global economy. Iraq's arduous journey from decades of conflict toward national stability and comprehensive modernization is a profound example of national resilience and commitment. Vietnam's meteoric rise from a developing economy to a commanding global manufacturing and digital hub showcases incredible, focused progress. These deep societal transformations are not accomplished instantly, but they are the very forces that meticulously shape the bedrock for lasting currency strength and global trust. When individuals choose to invest in these currencies, they are, in an important sense, also investing in the tremendous potential of these nations' people and their evolving economic systems. Understanding this broader context helps investors look beyond the focus on short-term profits and appreciate the scope of a long-term economic transformation. If you have ever exchanged a small amount of currency while traveling abroad, you already possess a basic understanding of the fundamental mechanics. However, this potential event is on an entirely different magnitude and scale. A large-scale, coordinated rate release impacts complex international banking networks, global exchange markets, and even worldwide liquidity flows. This is why major banks begin preparation months in advance, rigorously testing their systems, ensuring strict alignment with international financial regulators, and thoroughly training their specialized staff. For the individual investor, this means that comprehensive preparation absolutely must begin now, not simply when the official news announcement finally breaks. The smoother and more complete your state of readiness, the more rapidly and effectively you will be able to move when the critical window of opportunity appears. Modern online banking systems are poised to play an absolutely massive, centralized role in facilitating this entire conversion process. In the year 2025, the majority of major international banks have already integrated sophisticated digital dashboards that allow customers to view real-time fluctuating exchange rates, precisely schedule their conversions, and instantly transfer funds between accounts. Once your converted IQD or VND value is successfully processed, you will typically receive an immediate digital confirmation and gain instant access to those funds through your mobile banking application or online portal. Proactively setting up and rigorously testing those digital accounts and their transfer capabilities ahead of time can potentially save you critical hours of processing delay. Ensure you have enabled security notifications, fully verified your security settings, and confirmed the withdrawal and transfer limits on your accounts. Always remember that the future of major currency exchange is digital pixels and data, not physical paper. Let us not overlook the final, crucial element required for success: the correct mindset. When significant financial events of this nature occur, human emotions, including fear, intense excitement, and impatience, run exceptionally high. These powerful emotions can severely cloud judgment and lead to costly mistakes. You must approach this event with the same calm, rational deliberation you would apply to any other major, high-stakes financial decision. Take a moment to breathe. Ensure you remain informed only by verified sources, and trust the preparation you have already completed. The most financially successful investors are rarely the fastest to act. They are consistently the most disciplined and organized. They execute their plan with well-earned confidence, not with impulsive chaos. That disciplined, rational mindset is the single most valuable asset you will possess to successfully navigate this entire event. As we draw this detailed report to its conclusion, one truth remains unequivocally clear: opportunity reserves its greatest rewards for those who are meticulously prepared. Whether the rate release occurs tomorrow, next month, or later this year, the quality of your readiness will directly determine your ultimate outcome. Use these remaining days to organize your documents, verify your bank accounts, and finalize your action plan. Do not wait for the ultimate official confirmation to begin taking smart, defensive, and strategic actions. In moments of monumental financial change, time moves exceptionally fast, and those who have diligently planned ahead are positioned to move even faster. In closing, please take this one final message to heart: the windows of opportunity for these kinds of major currency adjustments do not remain open indefinitely. Financial history repeatedly demonstrates that the initial few hours following a significant currency revaluation often shape the final results for early movers. You must ensure, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that you are fully ready when that critical notification is finally released. Stay alert, stay organized, and most importantly, stay calm and rational. This event truly has the potential to be one of the most defining financial moments of your lifetime. Do not miss your window. Take the necessary steps today to secure your IQ and VND exchange slot before the opportunity has passed.